Hi, my name is Ricardo Milburn, and I want to talk to you today about scaffolding in the classroom. It's basically a pathway that we can take to bring our teacher-directed classrooms to more of a learner-directed classroom. My objectives today is to discuss scaffolding, introduce the zone of proximal development as a technique for learning, provide an example of scaffolding observed in the classroom, highlight some terms and benefits related to the scaffolding process. I did my observation at Boise High School. My teacher was Miss Ringer, and the grade subject was 10th, 11th grade, a bit of a mix. They were in intermediate algebra class. The demographics was mostly age 15 to 16, with generally a lower middle class socioeconomic status, I guess. The race was generally Caucasian. There was a wide variety of races represented by the class, but there would only be like one of them. But there was a ton of them put together, so it was definitely a mix. It was kind of impressive. So what is scaffolding? Well, it's basically where the teacher provides support. And the metaphor is very much like in construction, because the support is temporary, it's adjustable, and it's gradually removed so that they can stand on their own. Teacher-directed, basically this is just where obviously the teacher leads the classroom in the learning. And a math class usually starts this way. The problem with this is we get some students that get eye contact and can assimilate the lesson, while others maybe not so much. The major goal for education is to strive for more of a learner-directed classroom, because this increases our socialization benefits in the classroom. Now, this is good because students are learning independently and share that knowledge with each other. And this is where the socialization comes in. Now, how do we do this? Well, the zone of proximal development is a great way to approach this. This is written straight from our textbook, where it says the space between what a learner can do independently and what he or she can do while participating with more capable others. So basically this means that as a child is assimilating the information, if they don't quite have everything, they can reach out and get that knowledge from an outside source, either a peer or a teacher. Ah yes, I wanted to give credit where credit is due. Now, the first day that I went to observe, the teacher was very excited to share with me this technique that she used in her classroom called team tests. It's a strategy to prove math culture and comprehension. Basically, how this works is a couple of days before the real test, she'll get the class to work together in groups of 3 or 4, and they go over a test that's very similar to the real test. And they explain it to each other. They have a chance to work on the problems and explain all of the concepts to each other and help each other through the test, so that, well, basically what this does is some students that did grasp the lesson can share it with the other student next to him or her, and then they get an extra chance to get that information presented to them in more of a peer group environment as opposed to just a teacher environment. And basically the group works together and they bring their pieces of the puzzle to put the whole project together. Now this is good because, or how we use this with the zone of proximal development, is the teacher still wanders around the room and listens for stuff that they can help make more concrete to the students. The team works on the test. The teacher helps them when he or she is needed, and then steps back and lets them talk about the best way to do each individual problem. Miss Ringer was telling me that her test scores were up 18% ever since she started doing this technique. So it seemed to me like a really good thing to share with you guys. Now this is the goal for the future. We'd all would like to produce these. If we can produce more of these in our classroom, then we will win at education. Here's another graph displaying the zone. Basically, it's the fine line between can and can't, or at least can't yet. Now it's time for our assessment. I would like for you to take your time and, with 5 to 10 lines, just define 2 terms related to scaffolding in education, either from this presentation or from, your own experiences. Relate to scaffolding with an example from your experience, and discuss why you think scaffolding is important to education. Here's the rubric for your task. Pretty basic, pretty simple. With 5 minutes, you can get an A+, I guarantee it. Following are the references. I had fun talking to you today. Following this picture is a picture that I thought was very interesting. It might help you get started on your path to self-directed learning. Thank you. Have a nice day.